Welcome back. You're watching the late night news. Well, in news just coming in, a scientific officer from Kalpakkam is missing. Radhakrishnan is, we're being told, missing since Friday. For more details on that, we are now joined by NDTV's senior correspondent Sam Daniel. Sam, what's the latest on this? Was there any sensitive information with this missing officer?
Well, some authorities now confirm that Radhakrishnan was actually attached to the electrical department of the Kalpakkam power plant. He's basically an electrical engineer. He's 38 years old, and officials confirm that he is not handling any kind of sensitive information. He last came for work on Friday, and ever since he's been missing, and he was staying alone at the Kalpakkam power plant quarters, and his wife is a teacher in Kerala. So that's the information we are getting right now, but there's no need for panic as such, because he was not handling any kind of sensitive information. But of course, there's concern over his safety and to know about his exact location now. So they've registered a case with the police, and the police are now on the lookout for him.
Right, Sam. Thanks a lot for joining us with the latest on that story. Now, moving on, the Bhopal disaster verdict has sparked shock and anger across the political spectrum. But what happened in the 26 years leading up to what many have called a mockery of justice is also a baffling story. Successive governments of both the BJP and the Congress failed the victims of the world's worst industrial disaster. Why was Warren Anderson, the chief of Union Carbide, given the chief minister's own aircraft to leave India just 4 days after the leak, and with a charge of 304A against him? Why was he allowed to meet the then President Gyani Zail Singh in Delhi and fly out of the country on the same day, never to be brought to India for trial? Well, $200, that's what you will have to cough up if you are caught smoking or spitting in public places in Chennai. 4 vans on the corporation will crisscross the city to fine offenders. The drive has already begun under the Besant beach this evening. Well, every time you visit the Chennai airport, you might be inconvenienced because of the renovation work in place. But wait till August next year and the airport is likely to get a facelift. While Bangalore and Hyderabad's new airports are world-class, Chennai airport is apparently going to be the busiest in the south. NDTV Hindu gets a sneak peek into what the airport will look like in a few months' time.
The Detroit of Asia, the health capital and IT hub, Chennai is fast turning into a global destination. And travel to this cosmopolitan city will only get easier with the commissioning of this spanking new Chennai International Airport. Expected to be commissioned by August next year, it will have a handling capacity of over 23 million passengers and will be the busiest airport after Delhi and Mumbai. With a long list of firsts, the new airport will be unique. One such addition will be the elevated road connecting the terminal complex with the domestic terminal. NDTV Hindu caught up with R. Sarbeshwar, chairman and CEO of the construction firm.
Chennai Airport, apart from the terminal building, we are doing a flyover in the front of length around 1.4 kilometers, which is going to have an escalator down, so that walk-elators down, so that from domestic airport to the end of international airport, people don't require to walk. It be walked on top of the walk-elator itself. Walk-elator itself will take them along. In addition to this, we are building a bridge across the Adyar River. From there, the flights will take off. It is on the runway.
Both the levels of the connecting route will be equipped with walk-elators, making this airport the first in the country with such a facility. Another unique feature will be the secondary runway stretching across the Adyar River. As plans of the Chennai Metro Rail project materialize, connectivity to the airport will also get a boost. Chennaites are eagerly awaiting the makeover that would give them a world-class airport, placing the city alongside the best. With Ashmit Kumar, this is Sai Manish for NDTV Hindu.
Well, time now for an update on what's making news in the world of business. The 4-day strike organized by Hyundai workers has finally been called off. The strike was called after a meeting between the Labour Commissioner, the management of the company and the workers today. The employees were demanding the recognition of the union and wanted reinstatement of the 67 workers who were dismissed in 2008 and 2009. The management has agreed to reinstate 35 of them, and the rest will have to solve the dispute at the court. Cases, of course, will be squashed against the 200 employees who were arrested during the strike today.
நிர்வாக தரப்பையும் தொழிலாளர் தரப்பையும் அழைத்து பேசி இன்றைக்கு ஒரு முடிவுக்கு வந்திருக்கிறது. இன்றையிலிருந்து தொழிலாளருடைய கோரிக்கைகளெல்லாம் நிர்வாகம் ஏற்றுக்கொண்டு இன்றையிலிருந்து மீண்டும் பணி தொடங்க இருக்கிறது.
Well, it was a choppy day in the markets today, with the benchmark indices yo-yoing around the flat line before ending marginally higher. The Sensex is back to 5,000 on the Nifty. Shakti Palcha tells us if there is any life either above or below it.
The Nifty's 20-day moving average and the 200-day moving average are around that 5,000 to 5,020 mark, which means that Nifty's average closing for the last 20 days is around 5,000, and the Nifty's average closing over the last 200 days, which is about 10 months, is again around that 5,000 mark, which means that although we are getting a bit of choppiness intraday, as a whole, this market is stuck around that 5,000 mark, and as you said, absolutely nowhere to go. Intraday charts, we had a flat opening, did nothing for the first 2 hours of trade, stuck in a 20-30 point range, but after that, the real action, a big 80-point up move on the Nifty. We almost went to 50-50, but immediately gave that back, almost 70-80 points down in a matter of 20-30 minutes, finally ending flat, absolutely flat, but still just marginally above that big psychological 5,000 mark. What went higher? Metals. Again, not a lot of great news for here for bulls. These stocks have been hammered at least 30 to 35% over the last 2 months. Pulled back 2 to 3% today. Tata Steel had a decent day, 2% higher on that stock. Volumes pretty good, so it's looking a bit good, but again, it has a lot of resistance between about 480 to about 500 on the Tata Steel stock. The other sector which gained more than 1% in trade was the pharma pack. Stocks like these have got re-rated over the recent few days, many of them hitting lifetime highs, and you had stocks gaining anything between 2 to 4% with pretty good volumes. The only pack which went down today, again a bit of a surprise for the market, defensive stocks going down in a market like this, but ITC went ex-dividend, that lost 4%, Dabur, Colgate lost 1 to 2% in trade, maybe a sign that high beta gained, defensives went down, maybe first signs of a bit of normalcy returning to the market. But again, we are stuck around that 5,000 for the last 10 months, 12 months. We have been searching for direction. There's absolutely no big direction in the market. So probably we are stuck here. About 2 weeks to go for the expiry of June series. May expiry was at 5,000. Looks unlikely that it will be much different this time around.
Right, that was all the business news. Up next, after the short break, horror cinema visits Kollywood after a long time. We will tell you what this one has in store for you.